Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the DASNY JOC or Job Order Contracting Informational Meeting. This morning, you will learn and understand a little bit, hopefully, about what the Job Order Contracting Program is all about. We have an array of speakers, experts, to explain a little bit about the program. But before we start, I want to take this opportunity to introduce the Chief Executive Officer of the DASNY, Mr. Ruben R. McDaniel III. Ruben was confirmed by the New York State Senate in June of 2019. Ruben is responsible for the overall management of DASNY's administration and operations. Ruben has joined DASNY in 2019, as I said. He's an accomplished investment banker with more than 30 years of experience in financial services, including public finance, personal wealth management, corporate finance, and private equity. Now, enough of the bio. Here's the real deal. Ruben is committed to small business. His tenure here has been nothing short of great because he understands from your perspective as a small business owner what's needed. So he is guiding DASNY and all of the business units within DASNY to think customer service and small business. So with that, I'd like to introduce the audience to Ruben R. McDaniel, CEO of DASNY. Ruben.
Great, thanks, Michael, and welcome to all of you this morning. So glad you were willing to join us today and get some more information about our JOC program. You know, Michael's correct. I have plenty on my resume, but I ran a small business for 15 years. It spent most of our time as an investment bank calling on public agencies. So I've been through the pain of many, many RFPs. I've been through the pain of sitting through these types of conferences, but I also know how important having business with an organization like DASNY or the state is to a small business. And this is one of many programs that we do to make sure that we're reaching out to you so that you can be part of our team. Now, it's interesting. There are goals, there are missions. So we have goals throughout DASNY with minority, women-owned businesses, small businesses, construction firms. But our mission is to make sure that we have a state of small firms that are financially secure, that have good operations, that are able to access our systems fairly easily, because we know that it is you all that actually go out and hire those that are more disadvantaged among us. It is you all that contribute to the community foundations. It is you all that are pillars of your community. And so we are 100% committed to making sure that anything we can do, our mission is to make sure anything we can do to make it easier for you to do business with us, we will do. And so it's great to have you on today. I've got a full team that's going to do a great job of explaining the JOC program. It is a great entry point into both DASNY and the state. It also is a place where we can get some consistent flow of work for you all. So we're very excited about this program. The people that lead it do a great job. And I want you to know that my door is always open. If you need anything from me and any advice on how we can do a better job, let us know. Every day we're trying to build DASNY to be more accommodating, to work harder, to make sure you have access to information, to get out of your way when it's time for you to do your work, and to make sure you get paid when the work gets done. So we're working hard at all of those things. And so enjoy your conference today. I'll be singing for the first 30 minutes. Look forward to meeting some of you in person soon. But this is very exciting for us this morning, and go get them. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Ruben. So,
Ruben.
Job order contracting. Last year, DASNY managed more than 1,000 construction projects across the state of New York. We work on projects that serve as anchors in the communities that enhance the quality of life for New Yorkers everywhere. During the pandemic, construction has been deemed essential. We've largely kept our work moving. Most importantly, Governor Cuomo has committed to investing in infrastructure into the future to help rebuild our state. So job order contracting is a procurement that is designed to provide a faster contracting time to speed delivery on behalf of our valued clients by awarding term construction contracts in 10 regions statewide. So DASNY procures a wide range of construction, commodities, and professional services and insists on MWBE and SDVOB participation on each and every procurement. The JOC program, due to the smaller scale projects, is a unique opportunity for emerging firms to compete with majority firms as a prime contractor. And I have to underscore that this is a priority for DASNY. Yes, we have goals. Yes, we encourage subcontracting participation, but what we are committed to under Ruben's direction is to increase the number of prime contracts that minority, women, small businesses, and service-disabled veteran-owned businesses can participate with DASNY. On the flip side, many of our projects are extremely large, and there are certain kinds of contractors who take on that scale of projects. But DASNY is committed to providing opportunities for all sizes of businesses. The team here with me today will walk you through the program to help you understand how to position yourself to participate either as a prime or a subcontractor. In addition, DASNY has a strong commitment to advancing New York State's MWBE and SDVOB goals. Last year, DASNY spent more than $184 million with MWBE contractors. We have goals every year of 30% of MWBE participation and a 6% goal for service-disabled veteran-owned businesses. Our goal is to both help businesses of different size participate on DASNY's projects and to ensure our partners reflect the diversity of New York State. Now, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce someone who I've known for a number of years. Wayne used to work in my program and still does. He doesn't realize that, but he's still an adjunct member of the Opportunity Programs Group. Wayne Benjamin, and Wayne is going to walk you through some specifics about job order contracting. However, I would ask that you hold your questions to the very end of the presentations. And should you have a question, would you please use the chat feature to advance that question, and I will field it and move it to the appropriate persons on this video. Wayne?
Thank you, Michael. As Michael said, my name is Wayne Benjamin. I am the chief of DASNY's Job Order Contracting Program, and I've held that position for a little more than a year and a half, but also served as the assistant director for DASNY's Opportunity Programs Group for about 5 years. And going through the list of registrants, there are some names that I recognize from my work with DASNY in that capacity. So I welcome everyone to this. Job order contracting differs from, a design, bid, build construction project in that you're not actually, when we award a contract to you, we're not actually, working on a specific project at that point. Job order contracting is a unit price-based construction delivery method, and it's intended to serve as a faster means of delivering projects. I mean, think of it as having a demand or an on-demand contract. We award contracts statewide, and contractors perform services as the need arises based on using a catalog of fixed unit prices, which is provided to DASNY by the Gordian Group, and we'll talk about that a bit more later. And those unit prices on based on your contract and the job orders are adjusted by contractor specific markups. We call them adjustment factors. And those adjustment factors take into account your overhead and profit. So when you are bidding on a JOC contract, you are telling us what your markup is. You're telling us, what the unit price needs to do in terms of markup to accommodate the overhead and profit so that the contract makes business sense to you. We work with a range of clients statewide. The State University of New York was our first client, I think 74 years ago. It was not around then. Our largest client currently is the City University of New York, but we have clients throughout. And everyone needs to mute themselves, please. And, so the work that we do is statewide. For the JOC program, we have divided the state into 10 regions. And currently in those 10 regions, we have 54 active contracts. And in the last 4 years, we've done, on average, it varies, but we've done on average $52 million worth of work through the JOC program annually. In some of the earlier years, 2016 or so, it might have been 42 million or so. I think in 2019, it was more like 64 million. But it just goes to show you that there is a volume of work that goes through the program. Michael Clay mentioned that the projects are smaller. They vary in size, but there is a volume of work that goes through the program. DASNY's operated a JOCS program for about 20 years, and the Gordian Group has been with us, for that 20-year period. The contracts that we award are in your basic construction trades. There were a number of questions when we were organizing this meeting from architects and engineers on whether there are opportunities in the JOC program for professional services. And JOCS is really a construction trade-based program. We award contracts for general construction, electrical, plumbing, HVAC, and asbestos hazmat. In the past, we've also done roofing and sprinklers. We are not awarding those standalone specialty contracts so much anymore, but the basic construction trades, we award contracts. And in each of the 10 regions that I mentioned, we have prime contractors who are assigned to those regions. In some cases, you might have a contract that covers, more than one region. In Region 1, and this is something that I want everyone to pay attention to because the last time we bid contracts, there was some confusion. Region 1 is the 5 boroughs of New York City. That is the only region in which DASNY's PLA is applicable. And the PLA is applicable to regular design bid build. It's also applicable to JOCs. And I say there was some confusion because we bid an electrical contract basically out in Buffalo. And one contractor, didn't put in a bid because they were uncomfortable with the PLA factors. And it's like, excuse me, Buffalo is not in New York City. The PLA has no bearing on it. So just pay attention. We have, and we'll discuss later, we have another round of contracts coming up. They will be all over the state of New York, and only those contracts that are in Region 1 or for Region 1 are governed by the PLA. And if you are interested in being a JOC contractor, and as Mike said, JOC contractors are prime contractors. I mean, we are contracting directly with you. You must be able to obtain payment and performance bonds. That is a prerequisite. And when you are submitting your bid to DASNY, one of the requirements is a letter from your surety, not from you, but from your surety, indicating what your aggregate level of bonding in it and what your per project basis is. If you don't include that letter, and once again, this is something you need to pay attention to because this happened, our contractors who had very competitive bids, they did not include the letter from their surety, that bid was rejected because it was incomplete. We often talk about the JOC program as addressing smaller projects, and the average size of a JOC project is about $150,000, but be clear, there's a range. We cannot tell you when we award you a contract what work we're going to give to you because we don't know what work our clients will ask us to do for them. And so through the JOC program, we may do a project that's only a few $1,000s. But I will also tell you right now, we're doing a local law 11 project for one of the CUNY facilities, and it's well over $1.2 million. Last year, we did a roofing project for CUNY that was $1.6 million, and these were done through the JOC program. So there is a range, and when we look at our contractors, and when we speak to you about your interest in it, we need to understand that although it is in theory a program where we do smaller projects more quickly, there is a range that comes through, and you need to be able to address that. And so on that point, we will talk later about the unit prices and the software that we use to generate job orders. But we are not looking for our contractors to be experts in the software that we use or experts in how the unit prices are, generated. The Gordian Group will provide every firm to whom DASNY awards a contract with personalized training, and that is training at no cost to you, so that you come up to speed in how to use the system and how to pull together your job order, how to use the unit prices. What we are looking for you to do and to be is expert in your trade. If we're awarding an electrical contract to you, GC, whatever, we expect that you know your trade inside and out. And considering that, this is an on-demand, term contract where we might not give you any work this week, but next week we might award 2 projects to you. We need to know that you have, the infrastructure, both in your office, the back office infrastructure, as well as the workforce to handle multiple projects at the same time and to deliver, in terms of quality of work consistently. I cannot tell you, but as contractors, that some work is seasonal. And when we start getting, for example, into winter and our facilities start turning on, boiler plants, or when it's summer and they start turning on the air conditioning, that's when there's a lot of work that's generated because suddenly the equipment isn't working the way it's expected. And we don't have months on end for contractors to, figure out what to do. If we give you a call today, we probably need to be on site within the space of a week. We need pricing, quickly. We need to get it done. And if it's an emergency, and there are lots of emergencies, we might need you to get there tomorrow. So we need to know that you are expert in your trade and that you can get the job done and that you can get the job done consistently well. DASNY does nothing for its own portfolio. We do not build for ourselves. We service our clients. If you make us look good, we look good. If you make us look bad, we look bad. We do not like to look bad. So we are very focused on, the quality of contractor that we work with. The contracts that we award have a 1-year base term and 3 one-year options. So that's a possibility of a 4-year relationship with DASNY. Many of our JOC contractors have been with us from the beginning. It is very much a performance-based program. So if you do well, we continue to award work to you. We might, reach the limits of your contract value and extend the contract value because you're such a good contractor that we don't want to say, okay, it was a $3 million contract. We've awarded $3 million to you. Wait until the next round. We can exercise the option to go into another year if we've gone through all of it. So it's very much performance-based. The flip side of that is you can have a $10 million contract. If you blow the first couple of projects, you're not getting the next one because our clients won't be happy. We won't look good. It doesn't make sense. We'll just go to someone else. There's no obligation under the JOC program to award work just because a contract is awarded. The contract means there's a relationship that we've put in place that over the space of a year that we can award you work on any of the projects in your region. But whether we do so or not is really a function of how you perform and how you perform well and consistently on an ongoing basis. I've mentioned the Gordian Group a couple times and the software and the unit prices that we use. To give you more information, just sort of an overview on that, I would like to introduce Renee Pedroso, who works very closely with DASNY's Job Order Contracting Program. Renee?
Thank you, Wayne. So always tough to follow you. So we developed the it's called the Construction Task Catalog. And what we do is we have 2 catalogs that we provide for DASNY. One is for the downstate area, which is New York City. I think Wayne spoke a little bit about that, the 5 boroughs. And then we have the upstate catalog, which covers the rest of New York State. And the only difference between those catalogs is obviously the pricing, the labor rates, the material cost, the equipment cost is much higher in the New York City area versus the rest of the state. So we have 2 catalogs. Those catalogs are updated once a year in or around August. So after the wage rates from New York State are produced and published, we take those and we update our catalog with that new information, as well as material and equipment costs. So once a year, DASNY publishes this new catalog and provides it to their contractors that are under contract with them, so they can use those and make sure they're getting the most accurate cost to incorporate into their proposals. So that's the first aspect of it, putting those catalogs together and providing them to you, the contractor, so you in turn can provide accurate pricing to DASNY. And one thing Wayne did mention was your adjustment factor. So that's your bid, that's your overhead and profit that you're going to apply to those construction task catalogs. So again, once we get into awarding contracts and DASNY's building that relationship with you, that's something that Gordian and DASNY is going to be there and help you put together those proposals. So again, not something you have to be an expert in, like Wayne said. What you do need to understand is your infrastructure, your background, your overhead, your profit, and how you're going to apply that to the construction task catalogs. And again, when we have pre-bids and when we have these informational sessions, we give you all the information you need to feel secure and comfortable in putting those bids together, and we'll help you through that process. The second part, which Wayne talked about, is the training, the software, the relationship. So if you're one of those lucky contractors that are awarded a contract with DASNY, that's something you don't have to be an expert in. So Gordian's going to be there with you for the duration of your contract. So whether it's 1 year, 3 years, 4 years, 2 days, or whatever it is, you're going to have unlimited access to that expertise, to that training, to Gordian being there with you to help you through the process until you're at a level where you feel comfortable, where you can start producing on your own. And again, even when you're at that level, Gordian is always there for that support. And again, it's at no cost to you. Any of your staff, unlimited access, unlimited licenses, unlimited training. So again, Wayne says something that was very important. You don't have to be an expert in the software. You don't have to be an expert in the process of building those proposals and submitting that data. Gordian's going to be here for you. You just need to be an expert in your trade to provide that level of service to DASNY. So I think that's it in general. The only last thing is that when you're putting your bids together, what we really try to emphasize to contractors is how to understand to put a bid together. So what we try to tell them is take some projects that you have worked on, projects that you have actually completed, that you have hard numbers. Here's our overhead, here's our profit, here's what it actually cost us to do this roof job, this electrical job, this plumbing job. And then when those documents are provided to you, the contractor, you can look at the construction task catalog, analyze it, and then compare your projects and kind of build them out of the catalog. And we ask that maybe you do 5 to 10 representative projects, whether they're concrete work, painting work, roofing jobs, lighting projects, fixtures, asbestos. And then you can look at the catalog and see how that compares to your cost. And this is where you're going to come up with that adjustment factor to put your overhead and profit to make sure those catalogs are beneficial for you, the contractor. And each one of you guys are going to be totally different than one another. So for me, if I was contractor A, I could look at a construction task catalog and say, wow, I looked at some representative projects. This catalog works well for me. For contractor B, that catalog may be low. So you have to bid accordingly. You have to adjust your overhead and profit to meet those needs. So again, hopefully in a small snippet, this kind of gives you an idea of what our expectations are and what you can expect from Gordian and DASNY when it comes to their job order contracting program. Wayne, anything else you want me to touch on, or?
No, I think that's a good overview. And the point that you made is something I just want to emphasize, because we're often asked in pre-bid meetings, well, like, what's the average adjustment factor? And to some extent, that doesn't make any sense, because if I'm an electrical contractor and you're an electrical contractor, but our firms are different sizes, our offices are located in different boroughs or different cities, staffing. I mean, there are any number of things that go into what makes business sense for me versus what makes business sense for you. So what Renee said is really important. You need to look at your business operation. You need to look at, projects that you've completed, and you're sort of comparing, okay, what were my subcontractor totals, and then what was the overall total, because the difference is your markup, but also your rent, overhead, profit, all that stuff. What makes sense for you, and look at that. I mean, don't ask me what's the average, because if you bid the average, that may not make business sense for you. And if you sign a contract that says your adjustment factor is X, you have to live with that, because we don't give it to you, you give it to us. So it's really understanding your operation and bidding the work accordingly. With that, I want to hand it back to Michael Clay to close out this part of the presentation, but then we want to open it up, I believe, for Q&A. So Mike.
So thank you, Wayne, and thank you, Renee. I think you've heard that the JOC program offers opportunities for MWBEs and STVOBs to participate as primes and as subs. This program also offers an opportunity for you to build a successful track record, which could lead to bigger capital projects here at DASNY. Also, this program offers an opportunity for you to establish a longer-term relationship with DASNY. DASNY solicits JOC contracts 3 or 4 times annually. The next round of JOC contract solicitations will occur in the beginning of March 2021. A pre-bid meeting video conference will be held to further explain the JOC program and to discuss the contracts that will be released. I think Renee mentioned that. For more information on the video conference and pending JOC solicitations and pre-bid meeting information, please go to DASNY's website, www.dasny.org. That is your key, ladies and gentlemen, to finding out about procurement opportunities at DASNY. I also want to take an opportunity to kind of push a shameless plug for the DASNY Business Registry. For those of you who are not familiar with the DASNY Business Registry, it is a registry in which it costs no money. You register your firm, and depending on your area of specialty and your service area, we will send you to your inbox opportunities that match up with your ability to perform, again, in the specific trade and also in the geographical area that you're indicating in the registry that you can provide services. So please, I encourage all minority businesses and service-disabled veteran-owned businesses to register with DASNY. It is not a certification. Let me repeat, it is not a certification. It's simply a registration. And we've had this going on for probably 20 years or better. So please register with DASNY, and you don't have to search or look for opportunities. They will come into your inbox.